Hi guys, welcome back to a brand new video, and in today's video we're going to be taking another look at the rundown of the recent 2020 polls and noticing certain trends that are happening and why Biden is more likely than not to actually not be the nominee, despite have leading the polls ever since polls had started to be conducted way back in the end of 2018. We're going to take a look at this and see what it means going forward right now. So Biden kind of was at 29, 30%. Then he peaked after announcing he was going to run at 41.4%. However, he fell a little bit here and there. He was at roughly 35 until the first debate. And then Kamala basically went in and attacked him for the first time someone attacked Biden, and he fell all the way down to 26. However, Harris, who was just a regular candidate at that point in 5th place at the moment, below 7%, went all the way up to 2nd place at 15.2%, but she still was roughly 10 points away from Biden. Now here's another story. Elizabeth Warren was way down at 4% at the beginning of the year when she announced. However, her polls have consistently shown her gaining ground, and she's actually done pretty well since then. She's skyrocketed, and she's been going back and forth with Bernie at roughly 15-16% for 2nd place. But it looks like by far and away, Warren has taken charge and now is over 20% after the 2nd debate, which probably wasn't even that good or bad for her. She really wasn't very notable in the past debate. But for better or worse, she is going and skyrocketing in the polls. Bernie Sanders was polling roughly in the early mid to high 20s at the earlier in this year, but now has plummeted and has kind of basically stagnated around 17%. But what's solid to note here is that Warren's uprise kind of could be correlated a little bit with Harris's demise as well as Biden's demise. And the question is, are the business establishmentarian Democrats going to be satisfied with Elizabeth Warren on the ticket? I'm not exactly sure. But you know what? These polls right now, by the way, aside from the unusual fact of Yang going past Beto and is safe now in 7th place and sixth place and may overtake Harris soon, is the fact that the polls mean nothing this far out. They mean a little bit. They can gauge kind of the enthusiasm, but I mean, they really are not the most accurate moving forward when it comes to things like the actual results coming in. Who knows about this? Who are the insiders? Who are the insider experts? The people that make the bets, the people that do the betting odds. And right now, it tells a very different story. Instead of showing Biden ahead by 6.5%, it shows Warren ahead by 30% right now. Warren has roughly a 50% chance, and this has skyrocketed too, by the way. People have been wary around Biden from the start. Biden was roughly at 15%. When he announced, he did skyrocket, but he never really went above 30%. When he fell in the debate, Harris actually jumped into 1st place, and when she lost all her steam, Biden jumped back into 1st place. Harris continued to lose, but then the odds of Elizabeth Warren skyrocketed and went up very high, and now she's at 50%. What does this show us? It shows us that Vegas knows. Vegas always knows what's happening. And Biden is basically doomed to fail. He only has a 1 in 5% chance of getting the nomination, whereas the rest of the Democrats here, they're either below him or they're roughly where Warren is at 50% chance to get the nomination. So Warren probably is going to get the nomination. She'll probably win the first 2 states, do better than expected in South Carolina, go out to Nevada, pull off an upset, and then win states like California. And I don't know if she'll win Texas, but it'd be interesting to see what happens there. Biden probably does hold Texas, but I think that maybe if Beto O'Cuck right here, who's at 1.7%, is going to play spoiler, then maybe that could give Texas to Warren, and she could easily get the nomination locked up in March of 2020. And it's something we're going to have to see. But all the betting odds sites roughly show her at 50%. But here's another anecdote. Will the business Dems be satisfied with her? Who the hell has risen the most? From roughly 1% to 5.1% the other day, and now is going on 6%. None other than Hydrogen Hillary Clinton herself, sitting at 5.5%. She has a much better chance to win the nomination than Beta, Gabbard, and Booker combined. And if this current trend goes, I think she'll probably, by the end of the year, have a better shot. Or not by the end of the year, by the end of the month, by having a better shot than Harris and Buttigieg. Why is she going out there and attacking Trump nonstop? Why is she going out there dealing with the press? Possibly because she has an agenda, and like I've said before, there's a very good chance Hillary Clinton could end up running on the Democrat ticket. It will be hilarious to watch her do it. She's not going to be able to beat Donald Trump. She'll, in fact, lose in a very, very big landslide. But as you can see here, she's not out of it. She's roughly was there. She was down at the roughly 4% mark, and now she's roughly up to 5.5%. And she was roughly at 1 to 2% for the rest of the year. And her rise has coincided with Biden's fall. So at the end of the day, it makes us think, could potentially it happen? A lot of people are going to say, well, look, also, other candidates could run. Michelle Obama's there. She's at 1%. I don't see Michelle Obama running. It's possible that John Kerry or Michael Bloomberg could jump in the race if the establishment is not satisfied with Biden, because I think they know Harris is just garbage. I don't even think she's necessarily that in touch with the establishment either. But we'll have to see, and that's just my take on the issue. So watch the betting odds too, guys. I'll put a link to these in the description because these are very important to watch too. It's not just the 2020 election polls that matter, betting odds. And when it comes down to the presidential level, roughly at 50-50 for Trump or the Democrat, I think that Trump will edge it out. But again, the polls, the betting odds really matter more than the polls at this point because we're so far out, and Vegas has the more insider information. So watch the betting odds and take the polls with more of a grain of salt. Before I go on to look at Trump's approval here, he roughly has stabilized his, he was at 44, 45, 44, 45. Hopefully 44.6 or whatever will become his new floor. New poll in Quinnipiac came out. There was a poll last week before the Ukraine stuff that had him at 40 and 54. Now it's 41 and 53. Quinnipiac basically being the left-wing Rasmussen doesn't really show the accurate number, but what it does show is the trend. He's up in Quinnipiac and Rasmussen approval. That's typically a good sign for the president. And in other polls, he's roughly at 45%, 44, 45. So he's very well on track to get to re-election. Once he hits 46 or 47, it will become even more clear, but I do expect him to hit that number. So, all right, guys, thanks for watching. Please like this video. Please comment down below what you think, and please hit that big red subscribe button and hit the bell for notifications so you never miss another video. Thanks again for watching, guys. Red Eagle, out.